All right, Mike with Mountain Boys again. Here with the second video, kind of in my series on the new Gen 5 2024 Tacoma that I got. And I want to talk about the second modification that I made, or the second addition, or second accessory, however you want to look at it. Second thing I did to this truck. And that was to get myself a topper. So I talked before about a little bit how this is the first model year of the 5th generation Tacomas, so there's not a whole lot of stuff out there yet for the 2024 Tacomas. And I was saying, like, yeah, for things like the front bumper and for a lift, I was going to wait. That's all well and good, but I kind of got myself in a bind this summer, where I needed a topper, and I couldn't afford to wait a whole lot. So what I'm talking about here is I went with the A.R.E topper, and I'm fine with that brand, the A.R.E, but I went with the CX model for the long bed here instead of, I think it's the MX model, the one that has a little bit of the, mid-rise in the back. That's the one I would have preferred. I mean, it wasn't a money issue. It was just the fact that I needed one for the summer, and I couldn't afford to wait the extra, 2 months or something that it would have been for the MX model. And as it turns out, I probably could have waited and gotten by, but I didn't. I kind of jumped the gun on that. So now I have just the standard cab height topper, but that's okay. It won't give me quite as much headroom when I'm sleeping in the back and camping in the back a bit, but I'll make do. It'll be all right. So that's the number 2 thing is the topper. You can look to spend anywhere from $3,000 to as much as you want to spend on a topper. I went with a very, very basic variety here. I didn't need a whole lot of bells and whistles with a topper. I just needed something that would pretty much keep the weather off, and so that's what I got. So anyway, other things that I've done to the back of the bed, since we're talking about this, and I will say that this is the long bed TRD here, so it has a 6-foot bed. Is the bed liner itself in there now, or the actual bed? It's that really deep corrugation plastic, that's kind of murder on your knees, crawling around in there. And the Toyota brand bed mats, if you can find them, they're pretty pricey. I was able to find them for the 5-foot beds when I was looking for them, but not able to find them for 6-foot bed. So what I ended up doing was going to Murdoch's, and if you have something like a Big R or a North 40, or basically any of your, maybe even your co-ops and things like that, any of your kind of agricultural based stores, you should be able to find a stall mat. And they are 4 feet by 6 feet. I don't know, but I do know that they fit pretty darn perfect in the back of this bed here. I just had to cut out a little 2-inch notch with a utility knife on both sides around the wheel wells. And they are heavy. So I'd forgotten how heavy stall mats were when I went to put it in. So they run about 100 pounds. And they're floppy and they're super sticky. But what I like about it is, one, it adds a little bit of weight to the back of the bed, and I'm always looking to do that, especially in the wintertime, adding sandbags and things like that to get some weight over that rear axle for traction and things. But man, it saves your knees. Yeah, the only other downsides are that they smell like a tire shop, So that rubber smell was really bad for the first couple weeks. It's kind of abated now, but it still has that really strong rubber smell in there, and it's just something you get used to. Also, taking it out to clean it is kind of a chore. You know, you can spray the power washer up underneath it and everything like that, but yeah, cleaning underneath it is kind of a chore, like I said. What I might end up doing is right down the middle of it, about even with the middle of the wheel well, I might actually just cut that in half right there. So just so it's easier to wrangle in and out of there when I need it to. But other things that I really like about it are that it provides just a little bit of traction on the inside of the bed, so stuff tends not to shift around as much. It's pretty sticky and everything. And that's kind of the basis of the setup I've got there for the back. So again, second mod I did on the Tacoma was the topper. First one's the tires, and I'll talk about the next one in an upcoming video. Thanks.